Just double check here. What's up, my crypto legends? Yes, we are live. How is everyone doing? I've got Natalie today with me to do some analysis on the markets. Natalie, how are you doing?
I'm great. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Yes. I can see already happy Valentine's a lot in the comment section. It's me and Natalie in Valentine's Day doing a live stream to take a look at the markets. What do you think about that?
Lovely.
Right, I'm just going to go quickly through the comment section, Natalie, and just say hello to everyone. Come on, Andy, I see here. Hello, Crypto Legend, says Peter. Good morning, all, says Tarun. King and Queen of cryptocurrencies, says Aditya. Absolutely. Thanks for joining. Ethan, hello. How are you doing? We got Dobby, Andy, and Nat in one frame. Yes, getting ready to ride the dump or pump. Futures will open up before Andy does. That makes sense. No heads up. Yes, very true. I'm usually late a couple of minutes. This is why he's saying this. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day here from a lot of people. Hello, guys. Kedman, how are you doing? Hey, Nat. Hey, Andy. Good morning, yo, says Promise. All right. A lot of happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hello from Cameroon, Africa. Hello, everyone. I'm not sure how many people we are on the live stream right now. We're about 150 people, guys. If you don't follow Natoshi, make sure to follow Natoshi, guys, because she does daily live streams and updates on her YouTube channel. Okay. Right, Natalie.
Yes.
Shall we go through Bitcoin?
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
I'm going to let you go through Bitcoin, and then I'll do
I will go through the lower time frames at the moment.
Okay, cool.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I actually want to show them Ethereum first because during the New York session, so on my YouTube channel, what I usually do for the people that do not know who I am. So what I do on my YouTube channel is that I usually go in for New York session because the market is very volatile at that time. And especially now when the market is very stagnant, I like to go in for some scalping opportunities. So that's what you can expect from my channel. First of all, I did go in before we started this to look at the chart on the lower time frames just to see what could potentially happen. Okay. So the only thing that I have in mind now is that we are still creating lower lows and lower highs on the lower time frames. You can see here we have the lower high, lower low. The market is at the moment retesting on Ethereum now 1,516 and 1,506. So this is the 4-hourly fib. But when we break down everything to the lower time frames, what we can see happening at the moment, and this is something that always happens when the market kicks in during New York session, is that we usually see some movements to the upside to retest certain levels. I am very bearish on the lower time frames at the moment, and it doesn't have to be that we're dropping far, but if we're looking at the level right now at 1,511, that is also another fib. And if we're just zooming out, so we're looking at the 1 minute, this is the previous support that you saw the market retest. We have the previous support turning to a new resistance, and we also had the market in a uptrend, which we also broke. Now, right here was the last lower high at 1,510. And we can see that the market is giving us a potential fake out. So I'm still looking at this level. A little bit too many things on the charts here, but if the market is holding itself below this zone, these candlesticks here between 1,509 and 1,505, I do believe that we can continue to drop from here. Yeah, but if the market does break above even more, that means that everything that happened down here is only a fake out, which means that we can still come up to 1,516 because that is still the sideways, that is still the Fibonacci that we have from the 4-hourly. And yeah, if we're looking at if we are looking at the overall perspective on the 4 hourly, we have, I'm just going to take this one away. So if I'm using fake out so much now, if the market would close above 1,512, then everything that we've seen here can be a fake out from the previous support. We can come inside again, retest, and take us up to some higher target, because we are creating a lower low at the moment. And I always use the 4 hourly fib because it's usually the one that is the most respected one. So if we start to see that the market is continuing up a little bit more, I am looking at the level 1,580 and 1,607 for the momentum. And from here, we want to see if the market's going to continue to go sideways or if this will be the next drop.
Yeah. What levels do you think needs to be broken so we can get that leg up to that 1,600 range on Ethereum? Is it that 1,500?
Yeah. We need to break above 1,545. That's what I'm looking at, because otherwise you can still see the market retest this support. And then drop.
So
So if the market breaks above that level, these are 1,608 is the next level that I'm looking at, and then for a potential drop from that level. So, but on the lower time, and you can see how the market gave us a potential fake out now from the support. So we just kind of have to wait and see if this will be, because if this is a fake out, I can almost guarantee if this will continue up, we will see the market potentially drop down and retest 1,504 or 1,503, because you know that I'm using Fibonacci, and each and everyone here knows that. So when I am using the fib from the last, if we're following market structure on the lower time frames, this box that you see, this was supposed to be where the market is dropping down from, but we broke above. So this can be the level you see the market retest from above instead, and then have the momentum. So I'm not trading at the moment because the market haven't given me any confirmations, but what I can do, what I usually do is that I just put one alert at the levels that I'm looking at. I have, and then it will just send me if it's time to buy or not. And what can happen here is that it can also break above the levels that I spoke about, retest this 1,510 and continue up. So it's more patient now. Even if I'm scalping, you still have to wait for the right confirmation before I get into it. So that's what I see when it comes to Ethereum.
Nice. Thank you very much for sharing that, Natalie. I just wanted to point out that, of course, we've had CPI data. Inflation's a bit higher than expected. We've had a little bit of that volatility. My community knows that I don't usually trade when we have these news events. I like the market to cool down a little bit, because you could have a massive drop, then a massive pump, or massive pump, massive drop. We don't really know the clear direction, and there could be a lot of fake outs with this news event, of course. So I'm just, I always say stay cautious when we have, these kind of news events, because we don't really know where the market is going to have the clear direction, till it actually cools off after a few hours. So, I want to share my perspective on Bitcoin, and then, Natalie as well, and the rest of the community knows as well. I want to go through the comment section as well a little bit, because, I just want to go through the comment section, say hello to the community. Hi, Andy, and your guest, says Danny Flammer. We've got a few nice comments here. Hi, Andy and Natalie, says Oxford Doctor. Oxford Doctor's also saying, love you guys. By the way, it's Valentine's special with your work wife. Apparently, you're my work wife.
Look at them. Mark saw the moneymaker. What he doesn't know is that I had this name. I didn't even know I had this name. So I was also like, Matt Moneymaker?
Yeah,
I can keep that.
True. So, right. Yeah. Anyway, guys, hello. Thanks for joining. Let us know any altcoins or some other, different assets. If you want, NASDAQ or S&P 500, you guys are simply amazing, says Mohammed. Thank you very much. Wow. Nice. Really nice comments here. in the comment section, which is absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin right away, and then we can take a look at other markets, guys. But I want to focus first on the higher time frames, what I do see here. And yes, we've had a massive run up in January. It was absolutely phenomenal. A lot of people talking about, Bitcoin going to $28,000 and this, get people really, really bullish. But it was pretty obvious that this momentum was quite bearish, right? We were losing momentum here, creating slightly higher highs. And, finally, we did get this movement down. For me, this is an ascending broadening wedge, just to keep it simple, ascending broadening wedge. And we have that potential projected move that could take us all the way down, all right, to $20,900. I mean, this is a textbook projected move. Obviously, I'm not going to trade based off these, textbook patterns that are from, 50 years ago. But it helps you to, see that you could have that projected move to the downside. Now, I talked to my community a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if they do remember. One of the strongest levels that there is right now on Bitcoin, beneath these levels that we're trading at right now, is the $20,900. If I do go to the pivot low level here from this bear market, okay, the local low that we do have here from November, which is at $15,500 range, to the pivot high, it's always good to take a look at some fib levels as well to see where we could potentially bounce, right? So it looks like that we have broken out from lower highs right over here. But for me, on the higher time frames, we haven't really broken bear market structure. And the main reason why is because this wasn't a lower low right over here. This is the last lower low that we do have in June in 2022. And we can see here September, October did not create a lower low. The lower low was created here in November, right, guys? So all of these lower highs that we do see over here is not a breakout of a proper structure. It needs to be this one, which is at $25,200. That is the last lower high, as the last lower low is this one right over here, and it's not over here. So these are not lower highs. So overall, in my opinion, macro perspective, we are still bearish. We are still in a massive bearish trend. We haven't changed the structure here, even though it does look like, as we have broken out from these levels, people are getting a bit overexcited. Relatively, we are still relatively bearish on the macro. Just a brief explanation on that, on my personal opinion. Now, of course, we have had really nice momentum. We do have really nice support levels beneath us. What support levels? Well, I just want to go to the weekly level here. Weekly candlesticks. We do have a really nice weekly close and open right over here from October and November. Close and open right there. And this is a orange horizontal line that I do have here. Now, of course, it's covered with a pink one that I do have here that I'm going to explain right away in just 1 second. But you can see the price action getting a reaction right there when we had that movement up, right? We can see that the price action doing this because it's getting a reaction. Now, this is a huge amount of volume that has been trading at this range and not managing to break this zone over here. If the price action, were to come down in the next coming days, I'm not saying we are going to come down here. We could get a bounce and then maybe come down. But overall, that is a super strong level that I'm paying attention here to get into some trading opportunities, for day trade, swing trade, because I do see a massive bounce from that level. And of course, I use volume profile a lot for my trading. And when we take a look at the fixed volume profile from this range, that point of control where the most of the volume has been traded inside of this zone is exactly 20,900. So that is just a big level to take into consideration. And when we take a look at the lowest to the pivot low right over here to the pivot high, it is exactly the 382 Fibonacci retracement, also at 20,900. Adding a lot of stuff here. If we do hit that level, I would be looking for longing opportunities, especially if we do go sideways at that range, something that I just wanted to point out there. And if the market does get a bounce, because yesterday we were talking about on my live stream, if we do get a bounce from this range, there's a possibility of a double bottom because we are creating a failed breakout right there. For the moment, it does look like it is playing out. where we've had a bottom right there, and we're creating the second bottom. We could be coming all the way up to this neckline over here at $22,080 and finally break it. Now, if we do break that zone, we have a lot of resistance at 22,400. This is another major resistance zone that I do think we're going to get a massive rejection, as it is a level of support here from January, bounced several times, as you can see. If we do break out from this range, this is a level where we are going to struggle a lot, in my personal opinion. And if we do create that choppy price action, it will just turn into a lower high, in my personal opinion. So something to point out here. We've got a couple of pivot levels right there. If we take this pivot lower high to the low right there, 50% Fibonacci is exactly at 22,400, where it has been support in the past. We can also see lower high trend line here could also be around about that level in the next coming days, as you can see right there, to get that rejection. I'm looking at those two levels. Basically, I'm looking at the resistance above us after this consolidation that we have in, and the massive support. So these are the two most important levels for me that I'm paying attention to take my next trading opportunities, more for a day trade, swing trade.
Yeah, looks good. You want to go look at Ethereum and see what happened. Or maybe I can share my screen again, because
absolutely.
So it's going up.
Oh,
Elliott, so sweet. Thank you. We have so many sweet comments. Saint Michael, hello, Nat and Andy. Much love and respect of both of you. Very nice guys. Thank you so much, guys. You're so sweet. Yeah, guys. So you can obviously see how the market is going to the direction that I spoke about. We have this big momentum, and this is the reason why it's so important to wait for the market to give us the retest of certain levels. And one of the things that I was very confident with when you were talking about BTC, I was looking at this. So we had this inverted hammer right here. So even if it's on the 1 minute chart, it's very important to follow that, because when we go down in scalping, you can catch the movement from this zone here back up here. It's 277 pips. It's pretty good, but we are reaching the levels that I spoke about, and the first thing that I'm looking at is 1,533 now and 1,545. And if we are breaking above this level, then I'm looking at 1,580. So it was a really good, really great opportunity to go long, and we are heading up. One thing that I also want to share with you guys is that make sure to follow me on my new Twitter account that I have. It's Natushi Crypto. I will give it to you in the live chat. I do give you daily updates about cryptocurrencies, and today I also added a video, because I am a comedian in the background, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So if don't think I'm funny, I don't care, because I think it's fun to do it. But yeah, this is where I do share daily updates about the cryptocurrencies and whatever we've been going through after the live stream. This is also something that I update you guys with. So I will give it to you in the chat, guys. So yeah, it was a really good trade when it came to Ethereum. You see how we're just continuing to go up from here. So if you want
it's exploding right now.
It's going straight up, and this is the reason why when I go down to the lower time frames, and it just makes so much sense now when we're connecting the last lower high with the so that's how I'm able to catch these movements. And I haven't been scalping for such a long time, so it's actually fun that it goes better and better for me now when I'm doing it. So make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be on my live stream tomorrow and the rest of the week too, when I'm going in for the scalping sessions. Even though I'm no financial advisor.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. No financial advice here. Absolutely crazy. Massive pump we've had here. I think a lot of people have been shorting the market. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people must have been shorting the market, no doubt.
And I want to show you one of the sorry if I interrupt you. One of the reasons why I also was pretty sure that we were going up is every time I'm looking at the BTC or whatever currency, I'm always looking at DXY, and DXY pulled back up and retested its Fibonacci at 103.470. So that is giving me, when I see the market pulling back up to this level, and I see that the Ethereum is giving me the rejection here, they're correlating against each other. So it's just giving me an extra confirmation to go in this case, long. So yeah, really good confirmation to have looking at DXY for myself, at least. Never stop scalping that. I will never. Not.
Nice. The Fed aren't doing what they should. Fake out, says us trucking. Yeah, got someone here. Yeah, because BTC pumping. Yeah, there was a lot of comments here saying that it's over. Inflation is lower, is higher than expected. Sorry. Massive. We're going to dump, recession, rest of it, and then you get this, right? So this is something to note there, where people starts in massive fear. This is it. CPI data. It was 6. They were expecting 6.3. And it is at 6.4. So that is higher than expected. Market started to get a dump, right? It started to, let's just zoom in here. I'm going to share my screen right away. And, this is basically why I do not trade these events, because this would be looking really nice for a nice short. We're kind of breaking structure. We were just talking about this at the beginning of the live stream. And I don't trade this until, we wait, I don't know, a couple of hours at least, right? Let the market get that volatility out of the way, and then we can potentially see the levels getting respected afterwards. I'm a technical trader. I am not a news trader, so I don't know how to trade this. Just keeping it simple. It's like that. I do not know how to trade this volatility. So when you go to the lower time frames, we can see this massive drop. I'm not sure if you guys can see the screen here.
Oh, we can see.
Yeah, you can see the screen, right? So we had that drop on the lower time frames. Look at the CPI data coming out right there. Boom, massive drop. Okay, you could have got onto a nice scalp there, potentially, right? A nice quick move up, maybe to come lower. Anyway, it's just very, very risky. But I can bet already that there's so many people getting absolutely liquidated and burnt here with this movement up. It's because a lot of people, saying that we are going to go down. That's it. We are crashing. A lot of people shorting, late shorters into this range, getting absolutely wrecked right now with this pump. Even though it does look bad, it does look, inflation is higher than expected. This is it. Markets are going to tumble. We're going down. We're going down. Stay cautious, guys, when we are trading, when there is big news coming out, because this is what happens. If you are bearish with the CPI drop and you start jumping into some short trades, this is what happens. This is what happens. You basically get wrecked, right? Well, if you have good risk management, you won't get wrecked. But I can already know, when we see these price movements on the market, there's a lot of people losing money with this movement up. Anyway, this double bottom is coming to fruition in the end. We can see right over here, the double bottom, testing the neckline, wanting to break the resistance. Let's see what happens here in the next coming hours, I would say, because, this could still be a fake out. If we do get that nice momentum here to the upside, I can already tell you that a bounce from this level is very, we've already had the bounce, actually. We've had a, movement up, very high volume on the lower time frames. Quick bounce exactly at that $22,000 range. Yeah, looks like we're just going to go higher. There's a lot of volatility at the moment.
I'm looking at for BTC at least around 22,390 and 22,673, where I could potentially see BTC continue to now.
Yeah. There's not much resistance at the moment. The reason why is because, we can see the price action in between 22,000 and 22,400 just going extremely fast, right? Is when we see the price action moving fast in between these levels, you are likely to move very fast up. So in my personal opinion, if we do manage to close here some strong hourly candles above this $22,000 range, yeah, no doubt in my mind, we will be hitting this level in the next coming hours, or maybe minutes. But
the thing that could potentially happen if the market just go crazy, you see the resistance that you have right there. If we see that the market closes above it, the candlestick after, we just have to really make sure that it's not closing below the resistance again, because that can be the fake out.
Above this range, right?
Exactly. So the next candlestick, the next 4 hourly candlestick that opens into 1 hour, if that's gonna have a break below that resistance, that most likely we will see the market continue in the sideways market again.
Yeah.
Because someone asked about the fake out, so it can be.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. If we do, the moment we come back down from this level over here, I'll be pretty confident that we'll be testing this low, in my opinion, right? There's not, this is kind of an ABC kind of correction, flat ABC correction like this. And if we do come down below this level, I think it's just going to be a confirmed, come lower. Overall, it is pumping. Let's see what kind of reaction we do get at 22,400. I would definitely expect a reaction at that range. The way I want to trade this level is if in the next coming hours, I'm going to wait patiently, because there is going to be time to jump into a short position. If I do try get into a short as soon as we're starting to hit this level of 22,400, it's like, we're trying to short a massive big pump, and it's like catching a falling knife, right? You don't want to catch a falling knife. You don't want to short a massive pump. You want to see a reaction. You want to see at least the price action getting several attempts in trying to get above this range of resistance, then to jump into that short position, right? So this is something that what I'm going to be waiting for in the next coming hours. Very interest level for a short position right over there at 22,400, 22,500, maybe, if we do get that volatility. If we start making, kind of double tops at that range, then that's going to be my ticket for a short position. Of course, the other scenario is that we just we continue pumping like this in the next coming hours. Then obviously I would not take that short position, as we haven't got that stop at that range.
That's something that I usually before was getting faked out from, was because I thought the market was only to give me the lower high, and then it just continued straight up.
Yeah.
From that level. And I remember the last time we had like a similar scenario like this, I remember I saw that your live streaming, you said that it could go higher. I thought it was supposed to go down, but then we saw this fake out and the market went straight up. And after that time, I actually learned, to look at the support and resistance zones to see the fake outs, because they're, it does not matter if you have that big drop, it can just still continue up from nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I was taking a look at potential Elliott wave counts here. I mean, I do like to take a look at Elliott wave theory, Natalie. And from this pivot high level, I was explaining yesterday, and I'm not going to go back and doing the whole counts because it's just going to take a long time. But I can already tell you that this is easily 5 waves to the downside in a corrective way from this massive impulse. And I just want to explain it right over here. Okay, just 1 second. If I do get the Elliott wave counts from the pivot high, bear with me, guys. Here from this here second corrective wave, this is the third one. And we are inside of the fourth one. Yesterday, we discussed that this could be it right over here, and we could have that next movement down, fifth wave. But we also discussed how it could be an ABC correction. And this is what I'm more convinced of right now at this moment, especially if we do get a reaction from this range. With this pump, if we start consolidating here at 22.4, 22.5, no doubt in my mind, this is just going to be a level where we are going to correct. It's just I will be shorting that level, guys, and you will see that in the next live streams if we do get a reaction. Of course, we could turn over right there, and I'm going to miss the short. But like I said, I'm not shorting the pump, right? I'm not shorting into a massive pump. I want to wait for a consolidation, a reaction at a resistance zone. So basically, this is not the end of the fourth wave. Fourth wave can come as high as the first wave. First wave is at 22,550 right there. So it does make sense that we could hit that 22.4, 22.5 as it is. A fourth wave, just to be clear, it cannot go above the first wave. If you know the basics of Elliott wave theory. So you can see that fourth wave could potentially come to around about 22.4, 22.5. This is why it's a very much an interest zone for me to get into a short position, to come down and claim the lows and even break it in the next coming days. Now, if we do take a look at the ABC correction, corrective waves, we can see from the pivot low here we have 1, 2, and 3 right there. And also right over here, more of a flat ABC where the B goes slightly below the A, which is very much valid. And then we have in the C movement up here. That is what I see here potentially with this movement up. I've been telling the community the levels that I'm waiting for. That is 20,900 for a potential bounce, big bounce, or the 22,400 for a potential rejection. We are going to see that level potentially be hit today, and this is what I'll be looking in between today and tomorrow. How are we going to react from this range for that potential swing trade? This is more of a swing trade because I'm looking for these lows and the 20,900 to be hit in the next 1 to 2 weeks.
Do you think bottom has hit?
The bottom is in.
Do you think that?
For Bitcoin,
Yeah.
20. This being the bottom. If we would have broken 25,200, I would have said yes, the bottom is in. Even though we could have corrected, in the next coming months a lot, and then start a bull run. But yeah, if we do not manage to break above 25,200 in the next few weeks, because this uptrend is going to get exhausted if we do not start breaking in the coming weeks. This is going to start coming crash down if we do not manage to break it. I'm going to say the bottom is not in. The moment we break above 25,200, as it is the last macro lower high, then I'll say the bottom is in, and we are likely not going to fall below 15,500 in the coming months. We haven't broken above it, so I'm going to say the bottom is not in.
I do believe that we will have another. If this is the last time we see a bottom, I see the exact same thing as you do. Yeah.
Nice. It's a diamond pattern on the 15-minute time frame, says Mohammed. Diamond pattern on the 15-minute time frame. Ooh. Diamond pattern on.
Can you explain that pattern to me, because I don't know what that means.
A diamond pattern, yeah, I cannot see it anyway. I do not see any diamond pattern on the 15-minute time frame. But basically, a diamond top and a diamond bottom is when you have the price action do something like this, and you form a kind of a diamond pattern like that. And it's usually a reversal pattern. But yeah, I don't see any pattern here of no diamond pattern here anyway. It's not on the chart. I don't see it. Father Time, just think how bad inflation would be if they hadn't changed how they measure it. Yes, very true. So is it a fake out? Well, good question. I mean, we have broken out pretty solidly here above the 22,050, 22,070, which is the neckline. In my personal opinion, if this does have a correction from this range, I personally think we could get a pretty nice bounce from this level. Very, very possible. Very, very possible. I think we're not going to correct down to this level before hitting the 22,400. And obviously this is already my shorting range. I want to take a look at Fibonacci here, because I think we are hitting from this pivot high, lower high, to the low. We are hitting the 61865. 618 Fibonacci from this pivot high over here on the 15-minute time frame. So we are getting a reaction from that range. Could get rejection here on the lower time frames and get a little bit of a corrective move. Is there any altcoins in the comment section, guys, to take a look at? What are there any altcoins, Natalie, in the comment section? BTC to 25K. We have Charles saying.
Let me see. We have
Pat Murphy is saying yes.
Jasmine, huh?
Pat Murphy is saying yes. Natalie and Andy are twins. Stop asking.
Yeah, can't you see that?
Right, Fantom, FTM. Let's take a
Oh,
look at
I can
Fantom.
look at it. I actually looked. I looked at it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me look.
Right, let's take a look. I'm going to let you take a look at Fantom, Natalie.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, this was also some levels that I did have a couple of days ago that we were looking at my live stream. And so this is the reason why the fib is so important, is because you can see how this level, if you're looking at market structure, you know, because when I'm trading, I only use the fib if that's called an indicator. I don't know that, but I follow market structure completely. So even if we were in a sideways market here on Fantom, we still had the lower high. Market dropped down to the lower low, and we created the double bottom the same way that you've seen on all of the other charts. But what the confirmation that we were going up was that we did break above. We did break above the level. This one, first of all, at 0.4537. This is on the 4-hourly. But you can see how the market, first of all, tried to, did retest it. You saw it drop, but then the market climbed itself above the level. So now the market to the downside did break. We saw the market retest the levels from above. So that is also giving me the indication that we were supposed to head to the upside. The next Fibonacci level that we also looked at, we also saw the retest from the 50%, but it's more of a bullish retest. And then we had this big momentum happening. And this is the exact same thing as on the other coins now. We have already seen one retest of this fib at 0.5995. But when it comes to these coins, they can have so many crazy wicks from nowhere. And that's the reason why I can also look at 0.9215, because you never know. You can see one crazy momentum and then the next, you know, second is just a wick. So I do believe that we will, it looks like we're continuing up from here, because this is the last level that we're breaking above at 0.4700. The next level the market have is this resistance up combined with the 50% at 0.9145. And, you know, with back testing and looking at the chart 24/7, you know, the market is always retesting the levels. You don't have anything here. It's just a zero zone. So that's why I'm using the last high, because we're breaking away from this zone right here. But that's also the important thing now. So we don't see that we have another fake out, because if we're looking at the fake outs, just gonna take these away. So basically what could have happened when we only had these two candlesticks and we closed below the resistance again, because this was something that I spoke about with my community, is that we could see the market potentially retest the resistance before we had the fake out. Because, you know, usually what happens is that the market is, if it's a fake out, you only see the market retest the exact same level. So it kind of, I'm not sure if that's called the diamond pattern, but it's more, you know, a head and shoulder formation when I'm using that resistance. And one thing though that can happen for the next bearish momentum is that if it's going to continue up, we have to break above 0.5009 at 495. Otherwise, we can only see the retest of the level what that was supposed to be the high low level based on this high, higher low, higher high, but we broke below it, and now we could see potentially that this is where you see the market drop down from too. So that is what I see at the moment when it comes to FTM. So as long as we're below the level, even if we see the bullish momentum, if we're not breaking above it, then I expect the next potential drop.
Yeah,
Can you see what I mean?
Yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah. With the big resistance right there, you got the 50 and 618 from the high to the low, and would be just basically be another lower high at that range.
And we also have the W formation. So the W formation is a pattern where you see the market have the big spike, and after that you see the market give you the drop. So it kind of makes sense with the technical tools. And if we see that the market on the lower time frames, because on the low, we will of course always see the reverse on the lower time frames. So if that's going to be the reverse, you'll see how the market's going to start to potentially have a break through it. But if we start to see the market close below and it's looking something like this, then we are, most likely going to continue down from here.
Yeah,
that's
totally agree with that. I think this momentum to the upside will just face this resistance that you're talking about here on Fantom and create a lower high potentially, and then start moving to the downside. Overall market is still pumping. I'm waiting for higher. I'm waiting on Bitcoin. I'm 80% of my trades, Natalie, are on Bitcoin. I hardly trade altcoins, maybe Ethereum, maybe some altcoin, but very rarely. I like to trade S&P 500, but 80% of my trading is on Bitcoin. I focus on Bitcoin to do my heavy trades because I get to,
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, the other markets just get me distracted, right? I need to focus on one to get my good trades, and that is Bitcoin.
Yeah, I like to trade Ethereum more. I used to trade Bitcoin more, but I like to trade Ethereum now more. Yeah, it moves faster in a way, I think.
Yeah, Ethereum is good because it's highly liquid and it moves similar to Bitcoin, but it has larger movements, so you can actually make better gains. I mean, it all depends on how much you risk, right, for the gains. But yeah, Ethereum has a little bit of more volatility than Bitcoin on those moves.
I also like to trade Nasdaq. So those are the two main pairs that because otherwise I've been trying to trade more, but it's just confusing me too. It's too much.
Yeah.
I mean, two pairs, Ethereum and Nasdaq.
Exactly. Yeah, me the same. I mean, I'm focusing on Bitcoin and S&P 500. Sometimes Ethereum but I don't need more markets. How many markets do you need to make gains? I only need one. So, this is what a lot of the times is what I explain to the community. You only need one market that you're good at doing technical analysis to make really good gains. Yes, I'm going to go through the comment section, see what the people are saying. We got Mr. Ripple saying, Natalie, Fibonacci Master. We got Joseph here, one of my moderators, joining here, saying to smash up the like buttons to show some love. Thanks, Joseph, for joining. We got Average here. Hello, how are you doing? Natalie, Fib Master. From
That's
Mr.
the only
Ripple.
thing I'm talking about.
What we trading? Well, all sorts. I'm waiting for Bitcoin. I'm waiting for Bitcoin for this zone to see if we are going to get a nice reaction. I think, I believe so, that we are not going to get successfully above 22,600. That would be my ultimate level of resistance, as I do think that this is the first wave here to the upside, and this is only a fourth wave where it's going to collapse and come back down. So I'm looking for that trade scenario here in the next coming days. Of course, I will only get into that, be looking for that short if the price starts getting a reaction at that range. Reaction meaning going sideways, having multiple attempts and failing above 22,400, 500. And then that would be my confirmation that no more momentum to the upside is going to happen and we'll start collapsing down. That is basically my personal opinion here on Bitcoin. Fake pump, says Ciaran King. Yeah, volume is dropping. Yeah, I think we don't have much volume on this. Well, there is obviously, large amount of volume on the pump here on the lower time frames, but potentially we're not going to see more buying pressure. This is the thing. Once we start hitting, 22.4, 22.5.
And you share your screen. We're looking at mine.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. This is the thing about, doing the live stream together and sharing screens. Your screen. Anyway, like I said, yeah, I mean, volume is going down. Obviously, volume going down at this resistance zone. I think there's not much interest in buying Bitcoin at this range. And I think, we're just going to start, volume is going to go even lower, hitting 22.4, 22.5. That is the big major resistance zone that I'm looking for. Right. Andy is scared to look at Chainlink, says Bernie. Yeah. Chainlink is my biggest holding in my portfolio. And Bernie likes to say, Chainlink's up 200%. And he's lying. He basically lies all the time, Natalie. Something that I want to point out here. One of my followers. Right. I got Aditya here saying, Andy, Matic last lower high is breaking. It is coming to important levels. Andy, Matic last lower high. And we're going to take a look at Matic. Why not, Natalie? And you can choose an altcoin from the comment section if you want for the next analysis. And we'll probably be wrapping. Then we'll probably wrap it up because we've been almost an hour already. I mean, time flies.
I started to look at Link, but it looks pretty boring.
Chainlink has got to be the most boring one for trading. Yeah, it's I'm here for the technology. I'm here for the long term on Chainlink. Yeah. I don't take a look at the charts on Chainlink. It's just a project that I'm invested in the long term.
Yeah.
I'm here for the tech. That's what the losers say. The people that have lost money and they are down. I'm here for the technology. I'm not here for the gains, which is a bunch of BS, of course. I'm here for the gains as well. But it is a solid project. So Matic Network hitting again a big major resistance zone at the $1.30. Just keeping it simple here with these horizontal boxes. Big zone that has been respected as support, was beautifully respected as resistance here in November. Got an epic crash. Of course, the FTX fiasco did help for that major correction. Hey, we are hitting that level again. So that's a second test already from the resistance. The first touch is a really nice rejection point for a trade. Second touch, not that much because you're basically hitting the resistance again. You might break it on the second or third attempt, right? So, yeah, here for Aditya, he was saying, obviously, if we do break above this level here, I would say that we are very likely to get a bounce and retest the highs if we did have a clear breakout from this $1.30. And we're going to zoom in here on the lower time frame. We do clearly know that this is a big zone of resistance. We're going to go to the 1 hourly. And I think Aditya was saying, let me just get these boxes out of the way. This is from old analysis. Zoom in here on the chart. Okay, we got here that we've broken structure here. Aditya's lower high and break it is coming at what level? Right, so did we break structure here on Matic? That is Aditya's question.
If we're looking at the support, that's what I see at least. So if we're breaking inside the support that you have, let me see too on my chart.
Yeah, if you want, you can get Matic out. I'm going to share a little bit of my analysis, and then you can pull out your, and then we'll share your screen, so you can take a look at your view as well on Matic. I mean, it's still pretty nicely in an uptrend here. I'm just checking out the structure, if we have actually broken structure, as we got the high here, and it's not a massive successful breakout from this structure. So that would be the last lower high, but we're getting above that range at this moment. So if we do take a look at the structure right there, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Next higher high is this one. So the last higher low is this one right over here. It's not this one. It is this one right there. We kind of tried to break out of it, and it's having some pretty decent momentum to the upside right now. So it hasn't broken structure. It is still trending up. This is, you could arguably discuss that. Is this still a higher low? This is the thing. Yeah. Well, it is technically here, looking at the 4 hourly or the 4 hourly, 2 hourly. It has created a lower low. Let's just say it has. This is the last higher low. We have technically created a lower low right there. So it's creating lower highs as well. And I would personally think that this is likely to create another lower high. We're hitting 50% fib from the high to the low. And from this pivot high to the low, we are hitting the 618. So it is at a crucial resistance. And the probabilities here in creating a lower high is very, very high. That is my personal opinion here on Matic at this moment. Why don't you? Volume is pretty high with this pump. But overall, I think if it does go sideways here at $1.25, this is a rejection level, likely to come back down to the low 120s or below in the next coming hours, in my opinion. What do you think, Natalie, on Matic? Have you got the charts there?
Yeah, I got it. So for the low, for the next, if this is going to be a next potential drop, I'm looking at between 1.2433 and 1.2691 precisely with Fibonacci levels, and combining that with the previous resistance combined with the fake outs, because we can clearly see how the market tried to break this level. We failed to break it a couple of times. Market broke below. So now we need to see if this is going to be where we are retesting the previous resistance. Okay. So this is where I could potentially see the market still reverse down from. I don't believe that we will do it at this moment, even if we see the market retest this level. But it's too much volatility to the upside at this moment, and we have already broken above this support right here too. So yeah, if we're breaking above 1.2009, around 1.2690 or 300, was that 300? No, 2000. Whatever. So if the market creates the higher low around that level, then most likely we will continue to some higher targets. And if we're looking at the higher targets, what I'm talking about, because I'm always using the higher time frames perspective, of course, now. And if that's the case, we can have a pump to 1.6340. And that's the 50% that we have if we are zooming out on the overall from the last low, from the last high down to the low. And because we're using the fake outs, the market is doing the same thing over and over again. It still follows market structure, no matter what people say. You still have on the higher time frames, you have the previous resistance, you have the fake out. We have already retested it one time, but it can be that the market needs to get drawn to that level for then, either drop or pump. I don't know what the market's going to do from there. The only thing I can do is to see what the market is doing against the levels. That's the only thing I know. But I do actually think that it looks pretty beautiful looking at the charts right now. I think Matic has a clean chart. I do like it. And it's definitely from here that we'll see if we have another break above the last resistance level. And if that is the case, well, then we just might have another pump. Or this is where we will have the next dump from. just wait to see how the market's going to look on the lower time frames, because that's what's building up the higher time frames.
Yeah. I mean, it does look like it could create that lower high at this range where we're currently at, slightly higher at the 125, 126. But like you said, if we start breaking successfully above that level of 130, it looks like that we could get a really nice pump on Matic on the higher time frames. If we do start getting us successfully above that resistance level, it looks like that we could go much higher. I'm getting people, somebody saying, hey, the pump is because of the S&P 500, because of, basically the traditional markets, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, you're having a pump. Do you mind, Natalie, taking a look at the, which is the favorite market that you analyze? NASDAQ.
You mean just NASDAQ?
Yeah, which one do you prefer as the traditional markets? Dow Jones, NASDAQ, or S&P 500?
I like to look at US 30. I like to go in between NASDAQ and US 30, actually.
All right, then feel free to share your analysis on.
I can look at US 30, Dow Jones, actually.
Higher time frames, if possible, as well.
Huh?
Higher time frames. What's your opinion on higher time frames? Do you see it reaching all-time high, or do you see it?
So what I have on the higher time frames, I'm looking at the monthly now. So the level that, and this is the one that I've been looking for a long time, is between 34,950 and 35,340. That is the exact same thing that I spoke about before. We have this previous resistance, and we have these this all-time high. We see the market retested, and this is the strong level the market has to break above for it to give us the higher low level, because otherwise we just might see the next potential fake out and then the next potential drop. So I do believe that we will have another push, because the market needs to reach certain levels to retest them, because they're so strong. And from there, we want to see if it's going to be a valid higher low level, because the market is retesting the previous resistance zones, or if fake out, potential retest, or only a retest in a drop. But I do believe that we can see some fake outs, because the market is giving us fake outs everywhere to to fool people. And that's why it's very important to be patient with it. So that's what I see when it comes to US 30. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, I can share my chart right now on the S&P 500. I think on the higher time frames, let me just share the screen right away. On the higher time frames, I mean, a lot of people have been focusing. I mean, this is the daily chart on this S&P 500. A lot of people have been focusing on this lower high trend line, where we've had a breakout from this trend line, right? Okay, nothing too important here. It does look like it's quite bullish on the mid time frame. This is the entire year 2022, entire year of 2022. Now we are broken above this resistance trend line, of course, as you can see. I see a lot of people getting bullish here the last week or two, last couple of weeks, basically, since we broke it here in January. This is basically not, this is still very much a downtrend structure. Like I said, explaining Bitcoin, we have the high, all-time high here, which was created in January of 2022. We got the low, we got the high, we got the low right there, we got the high right here, and we got another lower low printed right over here. So as long as you're below this lower high right there, you are still in a pretty much bearish structure, right? You're still trending down. You're still in a lower high. And something that I wanted to explain as well, looking at Elliott wave theory here on the higher time frame, is we are inside of a corrective move up, right? We've been in a bear market entire 2022 here on the stock market. What I want to explain here with Elliott wave theory is, this is basically the waves down, right? Just to keep it simple, right? Something like this. So we can see the clear pivot highs and the pivot lows. And what we are in right now is just a big, massive ABC correction. It's just the way I see it. All of this momentum to the upside that we've had for the last few months is a corrective bear market pump, in my opinion. And it could still go up here. Looking at a stock market, S&P 500, we could still go up to 4,300 points and still be in a really massive bearish structure. What I want to let the people understand that this is likely to be ABC corrective move like this. So basically what we can see is the fourth wave still not being hit. We can actually hit the fourth wave here. So it was just inside of a corrective wave here, in my personal opinion. That's what I can see here, Natalie. And this is the moment, once we test this range, which is very much happening in the next 1 to 3 weeks, is that we're going to start correcting down heavily in the next coming months after we consolidate at this range. That's what I read here. That's what I can see on the charts. So overall, I'm macro bearish. Short term, I could say, we were basically kind of bullish, right? We've been trending up. We're still trending up. We're still creating higher lows and higher highs. We are just about to create a higher high here on the lower time frame. Looking at the 1 hourly, we're trying to attempt to hit this high. So lower time frames still does look relatively bullish. That's my opinion on the stock market there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great. Shall we wrap it up?
Yes, I think we are. Much love, Andy. Good job, says Mr. Ripples. Thank you very much, guys, for joining this live stream, this collaboration with Natalie.
Thank you.
To destroy the like button, guys. Remember also that if you are interested in trading stock market, S&P 500, gold, oil, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, you can do that on PrimeXBT using crypto as collateral, okay? You can use Bitcoin, Ethereum, stable coins. You have an insane bonus down below, okay, in the description of 7% added to your deposit. Also on Bybit, it's in the pinned comment. You get $30,000 worth of bonus depending on what you deposit at the rewards hub, okay? It's where we trade. Natalie, I know you trade also on Bybit and PrimeXBT, and it's another way to support the channel, of course. Guys, thank you very much. Natalie, thank you for joining the channel.
Thank you. Guys, don't forget to, sorry.
Your opinion is always great. Sorry about that. Your opinion is always great to your opinion on the stock market, on Bitcoin. So thank you very much for joining. Anything you want to say to the community?
Yeah, guys, make sure to follow me on my Twitter account. I just posted it in the live chat, and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you know when I am live next time, because I go through the charts every single day too. So thank you, Andy, for letting me be on here.
You're very welcome, Natalie. And yeah, guys, make sure to follow Natalie, Natoshi Crypto, on Twitter, on YouTube. She's also doing daily updates, okay, using Fibonacci a lot. I know you like Fibonacci. I know you use it a lot. And yeah, guys, make sure to follow Natalie, Natoshi. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
in the next one.
Hello, everyone. Bye.